Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 15 of my favorite 30 drummers of all time. We've been counting down each and every day here this month in November in 2024. 30 days in a month, our 30 favorite drummers across all genres, all styles. Those who are still with us, those who are not with us any longer. The drummers that really we feel kind of head and shoulders above the rest. So many great drummers, right? Jazz and rock and fusion and prog and metal, you name it. It's a lot of great drummers, but we can only fit 30. Today for my pick number 15. Yes, we're at the halfway point of the month. Pick number 15. This is a guy I've long admired. He's an Australian drummer. Technically, he's one of the greatest out there. He can do metal, he can do fusion, he can do prog, he can do jazz, he can do just about anything. So good. Let me bring to the stage this particular drummer for pick number 15, none other than Virgil Donati. Yes, that Virgil Donati. So good. So good. Yeah, I think every album I've ever heard him on, he's one, again, I've often said that I generally tend to pay attention more to guitar players and keyboard players and bass players. Drummers, just not really my thing. But I do appreciate a great drummer. And when I really stop to kind of get myself out of my zone, because I'm generally speaking always listening to guitars mostly, whenever I get out of that zone and I concentrate on drummers, I can easily be swayed by a real talent, right? And this guy, I've always been impressed with. Again, if we would have tried to do this exercise, picking out favorite drummers like 10, 15, 20 years ago, I'd be probably pretty hard pressed to come up with a list like I have now, because I think I pay a little bit more attention to drummers in more recent times than I used to when I was younger. But man, this guy, always loved this guy. Always loved this guy. And I remember seeing him at Nearfest all those years ago playing with Planet X, and I was kind of like, whoa, this guy is a beast, an absolute beast. So let me talk about favorite albums, three favorite albums. This was kind of a no-brainer for me. There's lots of things that he's appeared on. He's worked with Tony McAlpine. He's worked with plenty of people. Um, but I always really like and appreciate and enjoy when he works with Derek Sherinian, specifically in Planet X. And I'm going to go real simple here. I'm going to go with the three Planet X albums: Universe, Moon Babies, and Quantum. To me, this blending of like progressive metal and progressive rock and fusion, this instrumental brilliance that is Planet X, is really hard to kind of, it's hard to pick anything else, even though this guy's got other great stuff in his discography. And, I can go track by track. There's so much great stuff on these three albums. This stuff, when the Planet X album started coming up out, this is kind of way ahead of its time. And, looking back on these records, just so good. If you like really aggressive prog rock with like a metal edge and just blazing keyboards, guitars, bass and drums, and just ultra complex but very musical. You can't get much better than Universe, Moon Babies, and Quantum. So, and if in fact, folks, if you haven't gone out to get to, I know the Presley's reversing this here, but if you haven't gone out to get the Planet X anthology set, which also includes their Live from Oz live album, you need this. It's a must-have. And again, Virgil is just so good on here. As for my favorite song, this was hard. I kind of wanted to pick one of these, but I was like, there's a solo record of his that I really like a lot that's got some ultra impressive stuff. And what I ultimately decided to go with was a track from his Ruination album, which is right there. And it's the first track on the album, which is Castle Bastards. This whole album is another masterclass in drumming, but this is like this is fusion, but it's metallic fusion, and I like how through the whole song, like the band takes you through all these kind of changes. But man, at the beginning of the song, the song is like it's kind of light jazz rock fusion, and then it gets heavy and big metallic riffing, and then it kind of falls back again. Then it allows for solo spots. In the beginning, he's doing all this little nimble stuff, which is just mind-boggling. Just such light, airy touches, but man, it's so like kind of technical. Really good, but it doesn't come off as overly flashy. And then when the song gets heavy, he's pounding away underneath, and then you get he goes back to doing that light, intricate thing, and then kind of like the keyboard solo comes in, And then the guitar solo comes in, Andre Neary, while he's doing all this amazing Holdsworth style stuff, Virgil's doing his thing underneath, and Chris Clark, like I said, plays his keyboard solo, and Virgil's doing all this little intricate stuff underneath. Just mind-bogglingly good. Just so, so good. So if you haven't heard Ruination, I don't have all of his solo records, but that I really, really like this one a lot. It's just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, pick for today is Virgil Donati. There he is one more time. And let us know what you think of this great Australian drummer down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. Pick number 15 as we march our way towards number one before we move into another month of another topic for December 1st, right? And we'll see you all in just a little bit, right? Because, of course, it is Saturday. What do we do Saturdays here on the channel? We've got the UK connection coming up this afternoon. That's right. So stay tuned for that. It's another melodic rock AOR fest from us. 3 cool albums we'll be talking about. So stay tuned for that. And of course, tomorrow is pick number 14, as well as ranking the albums of Steve Hillage. I will be joined by my good friend Anthony Ferraro from In the Proxy. We will be ranking the albums of the great guitar player Steve Hillage, one of the great space rock and prog guitar players of all time. So he's got a fairly short-ish discography. We're going to rank them as we like them. And then, of course, In the Proxy coming up on Tuesday. So lots happening. You're going to see, and by the way, if you didn't catch my interview with John Anderson from Yes last night, please go check that out. Really, really cool interview. Always thrilling to talk to some of our musical heroes, and John was an absolute pleasure. So that is on the channel that posted last night. I've also got a ton of new album releases to get to, so I'm going to be peppering you guys with album reviews over the next few days leading up to Wednesday. So it's just gets the stack is just getting unmanageable almost. So I'm going to try and I'm not going to wait for Wednesdays. I'm just going to throw the reviews out there as I have them. So I got John Wetton live collection. I've got the new Neil Morrison The Resonant. I've got Big Big Train live. I've got Sergeant Thunderhoof. I've got all sorts of stuff from Heavy Psych Sounds, and yeah, all sorts of metal and stoner and heavy psych and prog, and just tons of stuff here. Got the new Odd Leaf, High Reaper. Yeah, plenty to get to. So I'm just going to be throwing them out there a little bit at a time. So that's what's in store for you here on the channel. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon here with more stuff. As always, have a good weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.